What's up guys, Volt here bringing you a brand new car remake. In today's remake I am bringing you A$AP Rocky's Mercedes 190E Evolution 2 that was in Need for Speed Unbound. Now, this car was a bit of a surprise because the car was just mainly designed for Need for Speed Unbound, but EA and A$AP himself actually made the car in real life as well. So the car was designed by A$AP Rocky's creative agency, AWGE, in partnership with EA's Need for Speed team, and every single thing on it is custom made for A$AP Rocky. Now, I wish we could get an antenna on top, but I mean, overall the build turned out beautiful. I mean, Rockstar, of course, did the livery pretty much almost identical, pretty close to it. I would say it's in the taste of the livery and everything, but I mean, it's flip-flop. Things are different, but you know, it's Rockstar's way of changing it up, so it's not just like they stole it from another game. But I mean, overall, the customization we have on here is really nice. I wish we could actually change up the wheels on there, like the front and back, kind of like how we have the options for motorcycles to change different rims on there. But unfortunately, that's not an option. Maybe in a later DLC or GTA 6. Who knows? But overall, I mean, it turned out beautifully, a lot better than a lot of other builds. I also do wish that we could get a little bit of an interior customization because other than adding on the drift tuning, which I'll talk about that in a little bit, you don't really get any customization on the interior. It's pretty much bone dry stock. Now, a disclaimer, I haven't played Need for Speed Unbound, nor do I know much about the game or how it works and all that. So I actually reached out to a good friend of mine, Solancy, for the actual game because he actually played it and let me know about the information on it. And this is what I actually took from him. So thank you so much, bro, for the information, the help on the build, getting everything right, and the pictures from the actual game as well, because I'm going to be adding in real life pictures as well as the video game pictures. So apparently A$AP Rocky and his car is just mainly just a random racer in the game. They're not really a villain, they're not really a rival, they're not really a hero, they're just a random racer. So after you beat the game, you win this car, and you can also buy it with credits after you have won it as well. So you can buy multiples of these. You don't have to buy just one, you can buy multiples of it, which I don't know why you would buy more than one. Maybe you can customize it. I'm not 100% sure if you can actually customize it in the game, like change anything on it. Some of the cars in Need for Speed, I know it's like completely locked, so you can't change anything on them. But maybe this is one of them that you can change or do some things to it. I don't know. But overall, yeah, this is what we have. So Rockstar knew what they were doing with this build, especially with all the modifications. Now I'm letting you all know that this livery and the car with the right stuff on it is only available through the Vinewood Car Club. But don't worry, I got you all, so I'll have alternatives and things that you can alternate or change on the build, things like that, except the livery. The livery is the one thing that you will definitely need for the build. I mean, overall, pretty much screams A$AP Rocky's Mercedes 190E, so you definitely need to have that livery. Say, without rambling on much anymore, let's get in and start off with the base price. So usually I would say to go to the internet, go to the Travel and Transport website, go down here to the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website, then go down and find yourself the Benefactor Vorschlaghammer, part of the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC. It is a 4-seater car. So if you have GTA Plus, this car is going to be free. Now, if you buy it from someone in the car meet and they have modifications done to it, you're going to be paying a little bit of money, but you will not be buying it with the base price as you can see here. It's still going to be the free base price, is just going to be paying for the modifications on the car. Just a little quick note, also the same exact thing applies to people buying it from the car meet from someone that doesn't have GTA Plus. Then you're going to be paying $1,790,000 for the base price, and then also any modifications to the actual car as well that people have done. Now, I will say you want to make sure that you're able to actually go down here to the Vinewood Car Club and actually purchase the car from here, or make sure someone did buy it from here, and there's a few reasons for that, but I will get into that in a little bit, okay? So stay tuned for that. I'm trying to break this down as easy as I can. But if you are buying out the website, you're going to be paying $1,790,000. It's still not super expensive, and we are going to be doing a little bit to it. So it's going to be, you're going to be probably in about $2 million range total. But anyways, once you have your car and you have your color and you're going to be customizing yourself, meet us at the Los Santos car meet location. Again, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I would not change a single thing about it. And yeah, let's just get over and customize the beauty. So as you pull in the Benefactor, Vorschlaghammer is part of the sedans category. I mean, it looks like A$AP Rocky's 190E in my opinion, but to each his own. So as I go over all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design, the car, and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build, you're more than welcome to. But without further ado, let's get into the build. So I will note that if you guys want to put the drift tuning on here, you can. ASAP Rocky's car was not drifting in the game, but you can turn it into a drifting car in the game on Need for Speed Unbound and actually in GTA as well. And I'll actually do it right now just to show you guys real quick. So I'm going to apply that just like that. It does change up the interior a bit. It also does actually add some holes in the back there. It's kind of, I believe it's for gasoline or something along those lines. Extra gas tank, maybe extra exhaust or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, me personally, I'm actually going to stick with the regular tuning. I think it looks better and it looks a lot cleaner and better in my opinion. It just handles better as well. It is a good drift car overall, but I mean, in the game, if it's not actually like drifting, I'm not going to make a drift tune. And I just don't like the way the drift tuning looks. That's why I went for that. To start thinking off, you want to go to arch covers. You want to go with the stock arch covers. Didn't have any bolt-ons or any kind of wide body actually done to it, which is kind of crazy, but it didn't. So make sure you go with the stock option there. After that, move on to the bumpers. You want to go to the front bumper and you want to go with the plate and fog lights delete. Now, there is a couple other options you can actually go for. You can either go with the Euro plate or the stock front bumper. Now, the reason I went with the plate and fog lights delete is because it actually deletes the plate completely. So there is no plate on the car because there was no plate on the front end of the car. And honestly, I think the option I went for looks a little bit better. I don't know why my car is so dirty, but it is. I would say plate and fog light delete are the best option to go for there. After that, move on to the rear bumpers. You want to go with the stripped street diffuser. This is relatively super close to the actual one on his actual real life car, and it is pretty much looking exactly like it. Like same exact design. It is made of carbon fiber and all that. So yes, definitely go with the stripped street diffuser. Best option there. After that, move on to the exhaust. I went with the chrome tuner exhaust. Now his exhaust, he actually has two, one on each side, but unfortunately we can't get that in the game. We can't get any kind of double at all, which is kind of sad. For some reason we can get a gold big bore, but I mean, there's a lot of gold on the car. I guess that's their own taste, Rockstar's own taste. But I went for the chrome tuner exhaust. The main reason for this is it didn't go past the actual diffuser. And the sad part is the actual exhaust was like angled or like cut off at like a tip or something along those lines. Unfortunately, we can't get that. This is, I think, the best option you can go for. If you want and you think it might be a little bit longer, you could go with the chrome performance exhaust, but I still think it is a little bit too long, and I just think that the chrome tuner exhaust is a better option to go for the build. After that, move on to the grill. I went with the gold grill and trim. You definitely want to go with that gold grill and trim because it was a gold grill. I mean, you had a lot of gold on the car. Unfortunately, there's a few options in here that I kind of had to go over that wasn't gold. But yes, the gold grill and trim, best option to go for there. After that, move on to the headlight covers. Now, this is up to your own personal preference. Me personally, I went with the painted headlight tape. Makes it white, or it's relatively white tape over top of the headlights because his lights were actually like blacked out, kind of like this. Like they were pretty much like this, but unfortunately they had the crosses on there to kind of make the light go through a little bit. They were painted or covered or something along those lines. You can go with the headlight tape because he did have black on one side and white on the other, but I figure white kind of stands out a little bit more on both ends because the custom crew color is not the same color as the white tape, and the black is definitely, I mean, the white tape definitely stands out from the black on the left side. I would say painted headlight tape, best option there, but you can also go for the headlight tape normal option. Again, I don't think it stands out that well. It doesn't look that great, and I just think that the painted headlight tape just looks better in my personal opinion. After that, move on to the hood. You want to go with the gold Benefactor ornament. You want that nice big ornament on there. He actually had a Mercedes logo on there, which is really cool, but I mean, this is Rockstar's way of doing Mercedes. It's just the Benefactor. Benefactor in GTA is actually Mercedes, if you guys didn't know that. So go for the gold Benefactor ornament on the hood there. After that, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You want to go with the white lights. Now, I know some people actually went for either like the mint green or the lime green option just because he actually had fog lights that were a certain color. They were like a green, but I don't think these fit really well. In my personal opinion, having the neon on there is a little bit better of an option, and I'll go with that in a second. So I would say definitely stick with the white lights because the lights in game were actually white. Probably real life, they were also white as well. So yes, definitely go with the white lights. Best option there. After that, move on to the neon kits. You want to go to neon layout. You want to go to the front and equip that just like that. So the neon color is actually going to go to white because it is unselected. It is a actual custom crew color I created. It is Kawasaki green. You guys probably seen it before on my Fast and the Furious very first movie Eclipse build that I've done multiple times. I made a custom crew color for it. People love it. People use it. It's really great, and it actually works for a lot of different neons, especially for this build as well as the Honda Civics as well. So there you go. I'm going to put the hex code on screen right now as well as the RGB and hex code down in the description below for you guys. So there you go. I will note that there's actually going to be a decent bit of hex codes on here, so if you don't want to use them, I will have alternatives, so stay tuned for that. But it's going to go to white because it is my custom crew color. Now, the reason it's green is because he actually had green fog lights, and since I did remove the fog lights, and since you don't really want to change the actual headlights to green, I mean, I guess you could, but that is completely your choice if you want to do that. I still think the white lights is a better option, and then just making the neon color green instead on the front to kind of get the fog light look on the front of the car, and I think it looks pristine and awesome. I mean, it turned out really nice. I'm very happy with how it turned out. But if you don't have the option to do a custom crew color or can't do a custom crew color, the LSC color the best go for would either be a mint green or lime green. Me personally, I would say lime green. I think it looks a little bit closer than the mint green. This is a little bit more greenish yellow, a little bit more greenish blue. So I actually wish we had a normal green in here, but unfortunately we don't. So I would say lime green if you want to go with the LSC color option, or my custom Kawasaki green that I've created for the Eclipse or the neon color. After that, move on to the livery. You want to go with the gradient geometry. Now, this is the livery that you get for GTA Plus. Again, you must know somebody or have GTA Plus yourself. If you know somebody that has it, tell them to put it on there so you can buy it. Then it will be unlocked for you, I would say permanently. But I'm not 100% certain on that, so don't hold me to that. But the livery name is called Gradient Geometry, so you can tell them what the livery is so they can put it on there for you. And then you can make this build, and it, like I said, it fits perfectly. It has the white on one side and the black on the other. Although it should be switched, it should be swapped, but I mean, it's Rockstar. And then you have like the kind of like triangles or like shapes in the middle there. It's pretty cool. I like how they actually did their design and everything. It kind of gives a little bit like a Benefactor design to it, in my opinion. So overall, I'm happy with how this turned out and how the livery looks. It looks perfect. Unfortunately, it is only available for GTA Plus people or people that maybe merge on old gen or something along those lines, or get it from people that make modded cars and things of that sort. So again, Gradient Geometry is the name. I know some people say this is the livery, but they don't actually say the name. So this is the livery name. This is the car you need it for, and yeah, this is the build. So there you go. After that, move on to the louvers. You want to go with the louvers on the back because he actually did have louvers on the back. Make sure you go with that. Don't go with the wings or anything like that. Make sure you do have those louvers on the back because it just makes the car stand out a little bit more, and it actually was on the actual car in the game and real life. After that, move on to the plate. You want to go with a yellow on blue, which is the best representation or the alternative option for a New York style plate. And the plate that was actually on the real life car, and I believe it was also in the game, is actually a $ space AP. Again, that's a $ space AP. Now, unfortunately, we can't get that in game, so the best thing I could go for is AS space AP. Again, that's ASAP. Looks really good. I think it fits pretty nice, and people understand what the actual car is or what it's based on. So that's the option I would go for, is ASAP on a custom plate, and then go with the yellow and blue, which is like the alternative colors or like the inversed colors of a New York style plate. After that, move on to the skirts. You want to go with the carbon track skirts. Now, the reason I went for the carbon track skirts instead of the regular track skirts is because the entire bottom, the splitter, the diffuser, and the side skirts were all carbon. So I figure having the entire bottom made of carbon would be a really good option, and it does look pretty nice. It looks pretty cool. Like the bottom part of the actual skirt should be carbon, not the entire side of the door, but I mean, it still looks really nice. It looks really cool. You get the idea, and it looks really close for the actual real life build. So I think carbon track skirts are the best option to go for here. After that, move on to the splitters. I went with the track splitter. Now again, I know he did have a gold splitter and then it extends out further into the track splitter design, but again, I think the track splitter option is the better option than the gold one, mainly because it makes the entire bottom, again, all carbon. The diffuser, the skirts, and the splitter all should be carbon. So I think the track splitter is the best option to go for there. After that, move on to the spoiler. I mean, the RS wing fits perfectly. It is pretty much the exact wing on the car. So the RS wing, there's no better option to go for than that, honestly. There really isn't. The RS wing, best option there. After that, move on to the sun strips. You want to go with none. Didn't have no sun strip in the game or in real life, so make sure you don't go with either of these two. Make it nice and clean. After that, move on to the suspension. This is one of the very first times they're going to say you're going to need to slam it because it was cambered. And the car in-game actually has a decent fitment. I mean, at least a decent design for the car from the game and from the real life car. So competition suspension, best option to go for, hands down. There's no better option. Don't go with anything less than that if you want to try to remake this build. After that, move on to the turbo. I mean, I would honestly add a turbo. It probably had a decent bit of power to it. Speed, I'm pretty sure you could probably customize it maybe. Who really knows? I mean, I would say add a turbo, but completely your call if you want to do that. After that, move on to the wheels. You want to go two wheel type. You want to go down here to the street category, and you want to put on the deep flake rims. Now, I say this because the rims are two different designs. There's two different options you can go for, but I think the deep flake look best out of them both, in my personal opinion. So the Deep Flake are pretty much like this kind of like V-spoke all the way around design look to it. They actually curve out and then inwards toward the actual rim. Okay, if that makes any sense. You can kind of see from this angle here. This is how the actual car has its rims, and this is how they actually should be. They're also chrome all the way around the outside as well. Now, the other option you can go for is in the track category, and it is the stovetop rims. Now the stovetop rims are pretty much what are going to be on the front part of the car, and then the Deep Flake are actually what are on the back. Again, I wish we had an option to do an alternative of like how they do in the motorcycles, one on each design, but unfortunately we can't do that. But yes, I would say either go with the Deep Flake ones or go with the track category stovetop. Again, two good options, two solid options. I've seen people run around with this. I've seen people run around with this. Completely up to you which one you want to go for. I like the Deep Flake personally, so that's the one I'm going to go for, and that's the one I'm going to stick with. Now, here's where it gets a little bit complicated. If you bought the car from the Vinyl Car Club, your rims underneath of the stock rims, as you can see here, these are the stock rims. Underneath these stock rims is a pure white base. The reason I say that is because it is unselected. If I go back to the wheel color and I go to click it, it actually goes to alloy or doesn't highlight or locate any color in the actual list here, as you can see. So it is unselected, and I know it is pure white because it is pretty much the base color or almost the same exact color as the respray. Now again, you can only get this color rim from the Vinyl Car Club or someone that bought it from the Vinyl Car Club. So do make sure you note on that. If you want, or if you don't have the option to do the pure white rims or get one from the car club or whatever, then make sure you go with either a frost white, which doesn't look the greatest, but it is still white. Or if you have GTA Plus, an earlier option of GTA Plus, you can go with an off-white pearl. Again, it's roughly the same as pure white almost. So completely your choice if you want to go for this or just go with the frost white, or if you just want to try and hopefully get pure white rims. I think the pure white looked perfect, looked great, and it's pretty cool that they added certain unselected rims underneath the car. There you go with those. Good luck with that, guys. I wish you the best. After that, move on to the tires. You want to go to tire design. You just want to keep them stock. Didn't have no custom tires, so don't worry about adding or changing anything on there. After that, move on to the tire enhancements. You want to go with either standard tires, or I know it's GT Online, go with bulletproof tires if you wish, but don't go with low grips. It does have a drift tuning, which is way better than any low grip option that you could put on any car. So either go with standard tires, or again, it is GT Online, you can go with bulletproof tires. I completely understand, so take your pick. Definitely don't go with low grips. If you want drifting, put the drift tuning on. After that, move on to the tire smoke. Now, the tire smoke goes to white because it is a crew color, and I'll actually put that on screen right now for you guys as well. So there you go with that. Again, there's 3 different crew colors for this car: the primary base coat, the neon, and the tire smoke. So there you go. If you don't want to actually use this, you don't need to. It's just a kind of darker black smoke that I've actually created, and it looks better than the black tire smoke, but black tire smoke is a decently viable option if you want to use the LSC colors tire smoke. It actually wasn't white. He actually had like black tire smoke with like yellow lightning or yellow effects in the kind of smoke. So either go with the black tire smoke from the LSC or go with my custom crew color tire smoke, which I'm just going to call it like blacker tire smoke, I guess. So take your pick on which one you want to go for there. After that, move on to the windows. I went with none. I didn't see any tint on the real life car, and it didn't look like it had any in the actual video game either. I would say at most, if you really want to go for anything, go for a light smoke. But I feel like it's just too much. I feel like it's just nice and clean and clear. So I would definitely go with none. That's what I'm going for. It's up to you guys. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. Alright, and we're back. As you can see on my car and my primered out rolled steel, pretty much what I always do for all my colors. That way you know what colors I'm going to be doing for the LSC color and custom crew color. Again, there's both on this, so don't worry. I have alternatives for everything I'm doing. But yeah, so for the LSC color, we're going to go over that first. You want to go to the primary colors. You want to go down to metallics. You want to go down to the bottom, and you want to put on the ice white. After that, you want to go to pearlescence, and you want to make sure that is on a black. You don't want any shine on this black at all. It'll definitely smear over on this, and it won't look that great. So definitely go with the black pearlescent. After that, move on to the secondary color, go down to the metallics, go back down to the whites, and make sure you put on the ice white for the secondary option to actually match the primary option as well. And there you go, guys. That is it for the LSC color. I think it looks really decent. It looks very viable. It looks really good. And I mean, it's a good option to go for if you don't have an option to do a custom crew color. Now, I will say if you have an option to do a custom crew color, go for the custom crew color. 9 times out of 10, it's going to look way better than any LSC color. LSC colors are just kind of outdated and dull. So I'll put the hex code on screen right now, as well as the hex code and RGB down in the description below for you guys for this custom crew color that I'm putting on, which I've actually used before on a few different builds. So you're going to see the color change in 3, 2, 1. As you can see, the pure white just gets it a lot more white. Like, it just makes it so much more vibrant. A lot better in my personal opinion. So you want to apply that just like that. Again, with the secondary color, go over here. Not too much of a difference. As you can see, the shade, as I swap between the two, you can definitely see the shade change, but you definitely want to apply it. It makes it more vibrant, more brighter, and it just makes it stand out so much better. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's how you recreate A$AP Rocky's Mercedes 190E Evolution 2 from Need for Speed Unbound and his real-life car now. I am extremely happy with how it turned out. I would say it's an easy 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10 for the build. You can't get it more iconic, more similar to the actual one from the game or in real life than adding like an aerial on top, maybe some interior customization, and maybe like a different option for the splitter, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need. Overall, I am extremely happy with the build. Couldn't ask for anything better. Let's go back to our parking spot. Alright, so I'll do a little spin for you guys out here in the dark, because then you can actually see the neon and the actual car and everything. So turn the lights on real quick. As you can see, you still get the effect of the fog lights and all that with the neon, which I think looks really cool. And it looks a lot better with the white lights than having lime green or mint green lights. So, alright, now I'll do a little spin in the daytime for you guys. Just a nice little transition there, you'll see. Again, that pure white really makes the car pop. It really does. And it's so bright, but it just looks so good. Especially with the rims too, matching the base color. Oh, so nice. Yeah, let's go for a little bit of a drive. So I will say that this car is not slow at all. It is actually pretty quick. It's not super quick, but it does handle pretty decently. It's actually a really good drift car too if you actually want to get into a drift car. So yeah, guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap up the video. Let me know what you think about the build down in the comment section down below. Love to hear from you guys down there. That's always the highlight of my day, is always reading the comments down there, good or bad, doesn't really matter to me. Hopefully we did this build justice, and I will say hopefully we can get, like, let's say 20 likes and like 100 views on this thing, and I'll be super happy. With all that being said, guys, hope you have a great day/night. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, thanks for all the love and support as always, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Catch you guys later. And I'm out. Peace.